Hello there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sherifat Onabanjo and I live in Nova Scotia in Canada. I make videos from here. I'm a Nigerian immigrant. I've been living in Canada for almost 5 years and I love to share my experiences about life here. In this video today, I'll be sharing activities that kids can do during summer and even beyond. These are things my kids do actually, just to share them and see if we could inspire you or give you ideas or tips on how to also engage your kids in activities. And if you also have tips, please don't forget to share those in the comments below. It's a community here, anybody knows it all. We are all here to learn from each other, and just make our life in Canada a better one. So if something you like to watch, please enjoy. Aside that, I also share things about driving here, road signs, road rules, and all of those things, and just things in between all of that. If something you like to see, continue watching. All right. In Nova Scotia, there are rules that you have to adhere to as a cyclist. Most times, the rules that are applicable to motorists also apply to you as a cyclist. For example, you have to observe traffic lights, the traffic signs, and all of those things. You have to respect other road users like the motorists, the pedestrians. As a cyclist, you must wear an helmet. If you don't, there are fines that you could get. And even for a young child, the parents would be liable for that if it can be established that you are aware that your child was riding a bicycle without a helmet. Aside that, for their safety, you should ensure that your kids wear helmets when they are their bicycles, scooters, and all of those things. Also, as a bicyclist, if you're 16 or below, you may be able to ride on the sidewalk. If you're over 16, you cannot. You must come off the bike and then push the bicycle if you have to be on the sidewalk. There are many other rules like that. So if you need more, please go to bicycle.ns.ca. So bicycle.ns.ca for more information about what to observe as a cyclist. So you be on the safe side. It's right side of the law. And if you live outside Nova Scotia, please look up resources that apply to your own province, because even though it's the same country, rules and things differ sometimes province to province. This is me taking my early morning workout. Actually, I'm walking my son to a summer camp. I drive him there, and then his dad picks him up in the afternoon. But just thought he's close to the house, he's able to take himself on his bike. So I'm walking him, and I'm also walking out. So it's like using one stone rather, to kill two birds. So that's it. Though from next week, we have to drive him and his sister to camp, because my daughter is younger and I can't have her bike herself all the way. So we have to go back to drop them off by next week, because my dad did not get a spot this week for summer camp, but next week he get a spot. She starts next week, so I have to drive them down by next week. But this week, for a few days, my son gets to drive himself or bike himself there. In Nova Scotia, as a newcomer, as a new immigrant, the resources, their funding that you could make use of to pay for these activities for your children. I'll start with the municipality. So for the Halifax Regional Municipality, you're able to get access to free funding or part funding for your kids to swim, for summer camp, for gymnastics, for various activities that are covered within the things that they offer in the municipality. So once you're a newcomer or even a low income earner, you're able to get those funds, and it's pretty easy. Just go to a nearby rec center around you, or a library or a recreational center, and ask for free funding. They'll put you through. It's quite an easy process. It's something many people benefited from when they just landed, and even after landing 1, 2, 3 years, you can even still benefit if you're a low income earner, for example. And secondly, for soccer, for example, we have two agencies, Jumpstart and Kids Sport. Those are two agencies support your kids soccer funding for as much as $300. So if your child soccer is say 300, they pay for it. If it's 250, they cover the 250. Or even if not even soccer, other activities as well, like maybe learning an instrument, a musical instrument, or some other activities like that. There are many of them that are covered. So if you go to Jumpstart, you see all those activities. Just apply, and it's usually online. You submit the form, you show your notice of assessment to show that indeed you're a low income earner, or that you're a newcomer. So that's where it gives you some level of support, right? I even heard that they could even pay for instruments. So I think $300 is for the sport itself. I'm not sure how much it is for the instruments, if the sport does require an instrument, right? And then Kids Sport as well, they offer as much as $300 for support. So please look up those resources. I know as a newcomer, as a low income earner, I think that would help you a lot. And if the sport is above $300, then you pay the difference. So if it's say $450 or $400, you pay the difference of $150 or $100. If you don't live in Nova Scotia, I know that other provinces will also have similar programs. So please look up similar programs in your province if you don't live in Nova Scotia. Though I must add that I'm actually surprised at myself that I'm even considering allowing him to bike himself. I remember when we just got to Canada, like I was always so fearful. I couldn't allow my kids to go on their own, even to like the next door park, like where we used to live before we moved here. We had this playground like right in the neighborhood, just like maybe 30 seconds from the house. But I wouldn't allow them go on their own. If I'm not able to go with them, they're not going. Like I was that paranoid. I took their dad to feel like took my husband to actually say, you have to like allow these kids to be independent, go on their own, be by themselves sometimes, and it really helps them. I know that when they go on their own, they would have like maybe quarrel with their playmates. They're able to resolve on their own, so it teaches them conflict resolution. So like I was saying, so it helps them, it teaches them conflict resolution. They're able to deal with issues on their own without their mom or dad being there with them to help them resolve it. They're able to make friends, just be able to give some level of independence. So now allow them, if it's not too far from the house, I'll allow them go, and all that. And it's really helped them. So I think that, living in Nigeria really dealt with me in a way that it made me very fearful, even till now sometimes. I still always think that maybe when I'm driving, somebody will snatch my bag. Back in Nigeria, when I'm driving, I always put my handbag in the trunk, like in the boots, like that. When I'm driving during after work, I put my bag in the trunk, like in the boots. But now, I've never had anybody snatch my bag, but I still have that like feeling that something. They're still here too. I've had people breaking into cars and all that, but it's not so rampant. Like it's like a one-off, more like it's not very common. And even if it happens, the person is likely to be caught, like by the police if there are cameras in that vicinity. So it gives you some level of comfort, some level of security. You're in a safer place now. And honestly, that feels good. That feels really, really good. Here you can see this. So this is like a project, crosswalk with flashing lights and delivery at spring of 2020 by the Halifax Municipality. So this is the flashing lights they are talking about. So perhaps there was nothing like this here before, the flashing lights. So it was done in spring of 2020. So I just love the way they're accountable, they give record, they explain to you what they want to do, and they put a timeline to it. And by that timeline, it's delivered. It's just so impressive. I mean, you see a lot of things like that in place where they say, oh, we are doing this by this time, and by that time, it's done, right? Okay, so even though I told my son that I'll walk in like half the journey to summer camp, I ended up, going all the way with him. He didn't even know I was behind him half the time, right? The reason is because I was talking about being paranoid earlier. I still, like, as African moms, I don't know if it's just me, but we tend to like be quite overprotective of our kids. It's understandable, right? I still had to make sure that he got home. He got to the camp on time. Even when I got there, he was already in the pool. So one of the things they do for summer camp is swimming. So for him to have been in the pool, it means he got there way before me, packed his bike, removed his clothes, and went into the pool, right? But I still have to like look that he was there safely. Nabil, you made it! You made it! You made it, boy! You made it! How do you feel? Good, that's my boy. Nabil, you made it! You're a big boy now. You made it! Yeah, by himself on his bike. That's so cool. My boy is a big boy now.
Oh, he's a ginormous boy.
You made it.
No, but one of my sister went under.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm so happy right now.
Why do you feel happy?
Cause like I got home all by myself.
I know, even me, I'm so proud of you. So for this summer, my kids will be doing about 3 activities. So one is summer camp that runs from 9 to 4 weekdays. They may not go all through the summer because we have other things as well we do as a family during summer. And then 2 is soccer. They do that once. For my daughter does that once. My son does it 3 times in a week. 2 days for practice and 1 day for game against other teams within the municipality. And they also do swimming once a week. My 2 older ones, my last child does every day in the morning before I start work for a few weeks. So that's what we have planned for summer for them, aside our own personal family activities that we'll be doing as well. Just try to make the most of summer. Though soccer and swimming are quite constant for them, they do that even outside summer as well. So that's that. So if you live in Nova Scotia, there may still be spot for summer camp in your area. Just you go to a nearby rec center to ask if they have spots for the upcoming weeks. And if you want to have your kids enrolled, it's quite fun. They really enjoy. My kids have been going for the past 3 years now, and they really like it. And this summer camp I'm talking about is done by the Halifax Regional Municipality, the HRM. So if you don't live in the HRM, you could look up similar ones in your municipality. And aside the municipality, there are other private organizations who also run summer camps. Like we have one in the mosque. There are various activities that my kids also engage in. I'm sure also in the churches there are also other programs that you could enroll your kids for, just to spice up the kids, just to spice up things for them during this summer, really. So it's day 2 of walking my son to summer camp. But today I'm gonna just walk him half the way, because yesterday was like my legs are still hot from the long walk. It's about 30 minutes walk, but for him about 10 to 15 minutes of cycling. So today just walking half the way, and we'll see how that goes. Being able to ride a bike is such a blessing. Like, my son is way ahead of me, way ahead. Like, hopefully one day I'm going to ride the bicycle. One day, hopefully. I've been saying this for like forever, but so now I have to like run along to catch up with him. Oh, it's part of my morning exercise, I guess. Hey, I'm walking back home now. I walked my son halfway, like I said. I'm going back home. Yesterday was very sunny. Today it rained a bit in the morning. That's when I say Canada weather, like my people will say Yoruba, like weather lore, like weather in Europe, Canada weather, so unpredictable. Like, and I mean, I'm not used to checking the app. Like sometimes if my husband goes out before me, I'll be like, so I'll call him. So how's the weather? He'll be like, well, there's an app for checking weather. You can check. I'll be like, okay. So I'm not just used to checking the weather until I come out before I know if it's cold, you know, if it's sunny and all of that. Anyway, I'm walking back home now. It's Friday. I'm very excited about Friday. Even though I have no event planned or anything, but I just like that it's weekend. I don't work weekends. Except my immigration business. I take few sessions, you know, to be with my clients and all of that. Besides that, I just like the weekend. You know, it's not like no routine. So to speak, you do anything you want to do. There's no, you have to log in at slow time and all that. So I like that about weekends. Anyway, I'm walking back, and by Monday, my daughter will join our brother. So we have to drop them by car and not by foot, because my daughter doesn't like walking at all. That one, she likes the soft life. She ain't got out for, the hard life. She doesn't like walking in any way. She likes, to be driven and all of that. Sorry about the noise, hope you can still hear me. Anyway, I just have to give you that update. I'm also taking, so for me it's a 2-in-1, where I walk my son halfway, then I also get in my routine for the day in terms of workouts. I try to do some workout in the house in the mornings, but since I'm walking now for about 30 minutes to and fro, since I walked halfway, so no morning routine, morning workouts today. One of the things I love about those summer camp is that they get to learn a lot of activities. So my son came back today from summer camp, and he had this vest. He has Halifax in front. Then at the back, he has junior guard. So in the swimming centers, the rec centers, they have swim as lifeguards, like adults, who help monitor people with ish. Probably there's an accident in the water, so they help them. So he said that they have so they give them a post to be junior lifeguards, for younger kids. So more like a training really for being a lifeguard. You're welcome. Let's get going. So today we are driving to summer camp. Unlike the last 2 days that we had to walk, it was just my son. But today my daughter is also joining. So we are driving there. So that's the pedestrian. So if somebody is walking, we have to stop. like until the person finishes crossing. So that's the pedestrian light. Like you should stop way before you even get there at all. Once there's somebody there. So that's the stop sign. Once you get there, you have to do like a complete stop, and you check if there's any incoming cars or pedestrian, like complete stop altogether. Whether or not it's a busy road or you see anybody or car coming, you have to stop. That's another one over there. Once you get there, you do a complete stop. So when you're doing your road tests, like your driving test, you should observe this. And even when you start driving, like complete stop altogether. Else it could be fine. So we are in summer camp. Fortunately, my older daughter has joined this week. She didn't get a spot last week, so she's joined this week. But my baby is not joining, but just there to carry her bag and tag along. I just hope she does not cry when we start leaving, when we drop them off. So I'm excited for my daughter. She's very, very excited to be starting summer camp today with her brother. Now she's crying. She doesn't want to go back home. So we are back home now, but my baby is feeling really, really sad because our older ones are at the camp now. So she's really, really sad. So what I've done is so for our own swim classes, I registered her for also weekdays like the summer camp. So from next week, once I drop off the other ones in the camp, we go in for our swim classes. So camp starts as early as 8. That's drop off between 8 and 9. You can drop off your kids for summer camp. So between 8 and 9, I also book the swim class for her every day for the next few weeks. So once I drop them off, we go for our swim classes. So I think that way she would not feel as bad as she's feeling right now. So, and one of my videos where I spoke about things I love about Canada, particularly about Nova Scotia, I mentioned about having a work-life balance. That's one of the things I love about living in Nova Scotia or Canada. This is my own personal experience. It gives me a certain level of work-life balance. Once I drop them off in the camp in the mornings, we go for swim classes. The earliest I resume for my day job is 9. So between 8 and 9, I should be done. It's the same place that the swim classes will take place, and it's the same place that they take the summer camp activities. So I get back home, log in for my work, and in the afternoon their dad goes to pick them up. So that's how we're able to cope. Here. It's not always easy, but I just think that kids also, deserve to be allotted a long, good time. For today, for my kids' lunch for summer camp, I'm making them pancakes. They really love pancakes, so this is what their lunch will be for summer camp. Pancakes loading. So this recipe I use for my pancakes, I got it from CCME. So for summer camp, I also pack their snacks and lunch. So they have to bring in snacks and then also lunch that doesn't have to be warmed, like heated up. So I would usually give them like sandwich or something that they can eat without having to eat up. So that's me packing the snacks and lunch for summer camp, because they use like a full day. It runs from 8 to 5, so drop off is between 8 and 9. So they start camp at 9 and they finish by 4, but you're able to pick them up until 5. So we usually do 9 to 4 actually. It's like a full day. So they need I've had some other snacks, maybe fruits to this as well, like other snacks, maybe banana or apple. Aside their snacks and lunch, I also ensure that I pack other supplies they need for summer camp. So every day they always swim, especially my son. So he needs his swimming shorts, towel, mask, hats, same as my daughter as well, towel. So I ensure everything is packed every day.
What's that here? What's that here, Mommy? What's that here?
So sometimes we experience traffic as well. but most times it's usually something that causes it. Like this one, like if you see right in front, there are some two trucks, so it means they are doing a repair on the road. So most times when there's traffic like that, it's either there's an accident on the road or they are fixing the road. Usually you hardly find traffic in Halifax, in Nova Scotia, I would say. So that's one of the things I love about living here. You hardly find traffic. If there's a stop, it's either maybe the traffic light is stopping you, or there's an accident on the road. And most times when an accident occurs like that, there will be firefighter, police, ambulance. But this morning, the reason why this is because of this road they are doing right here at this corner. So I'll try to put all the information about the things I mentioned in the video, like the resources, Jumpstart, Kids Sports, the HRM, and all of those. I'll put them in the box below, so you can just check that out for the links. And I have come to the end of this video. I hope you found it worthwhile. I hope you learned a thing or two. Thank you for watching and have a great time. Bye.